What's up, everybody? It's CMP with Craftmaster Productions and Studio1Tutorials.com. Don't forget to stop by Studio One Tutorials, pick up your premium membership. It is 50 cents a day. It will get you access to all the MIDI that's on the site, all the drum MIDIs that are on the site, and it will get you direct access to asking me for whatever type of video you want, whether it's a machine video, whether it's an MPC video, whether it's a how to make lo-fi, trap-fi drill inside Ableton Live video. It's 100% user requested content. Also, don't forget to stop by cmpkits.com. Get yourself a copy of some of the new kits from Pupil Society, new kit from Asha Cole, new kit from Tick. The Soul of Tick is the newest kit, and also get yourself a copy of Memphis Gold if you use Ableton Live, compatible with Ableton Live 10 and 11. Now, today what I want to do is, for the last time, I want to debunk this myth that the FL Studio sampler is somehow different in the way that it sounds when it comes to doing glides than any other sampler. All right, so here is a basic drill glide. So if you listen to it, you see that you've got, or even if you just look at it, you've got four slide notes, right? And you've got four individual notes down here that are, that are at the C sharp note, and then you're making a bass melody up here. What's actually happening when you look at something like this, and this is one of the reasons why I think that FL Studio is the worst DAW for beginners to use, because if you're a beginner and you learn how to produce inside FL Studio, you can't learn how to produce inside anything else because of the way that they built this DAW. So what this is all this is this is a sampler that has the glide setting put on, and what this is actually doing is when you make a slide note in FL Studio, what a slide note really is in every other sampler is a slide note is turning on the glide on a sampler in another ecosystem, right? And then the length that you make your slide note is directly tied to the glide time in the sampler. That's all it is, right? So and I'm gonna prove it to you. So if you listen to it, so say we got rid of this note, you notice that the pitch doesn't drop back down to C5 at all, unless you get rid of the slide note. All right. And for example, if we got rid of these two notes, right? And say I took this note, and then I got rid of this as a slide note, and I got rid of this as a slide note, right? Now let's check it out. It doesn't even sound that much different, because the slide going from C5 to G6 is happening so fast. It's happening in the duration of the length of this note, right? So what does that mean in another DAW? Well, let's look at it real quick. I just want to put this back. Right. All right, so remember what that sounds like. If we go into Ableton Live, and we've got our simpler, and it comes stock like this. This is what this 808 pattern sounds like. It's the same exact pattern, right? Same thing. All right. So in order to do what an FL slide note is doing, it's not that there's a different sound engine or nothing like that. It's just you're following, a different set of commands. So if you use the Swiss Army meter, or whatever delay calculator that you want to find, you'll see that a 32 note, right? Because if we look at the FL glide notes, it's as long as a 32 note. and that's how long it takes to get to here, right? So you go to your sampler, you set your time to 53.5 because that's what it's saying. You turn the glide on to glide, and it should sound the same, right? Wrong. Because this is where I think this is where people get lost and frustrated with this concept, trying to switch it over into other DAWs. Remember, FL Studio, the way that their glide works is that once you slide up to this glide note, it stays at that note. It doesn't drop it down. So with that in mind, you know, if you actually know how samplers work, all right, let's go over to FL Studio. Let's see how different it sounds. Let's go to Ableton Live, see how different it sounds. I mean, that sounds like a huge difference. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like a huge difference. It's the same exact sound. Let's do it here. So, in order to achieve this sound, and I mean, this goes for any DAW, any sampler that has a glide function, because that's all the channel rack inside FL Studio is, just a sampler. So if you understand what you're looking at and what you're hearing when you see a glide note, right, or a slide note inside FL Studio, you know that, okay, so it's going up and it's sustaining, and that's why inside FL you have to draw it in this fashion, like inside of I'm pretty sure this will work. I haven't tested this. Yeah. So the reason why you need these 4 notes chopped out is because what's given it this effect is going up an octave to these different notes, right? So it's just that little quick bend in the beginning, and that's how you draw it out. Easy money. So this is CMP with Craftmaster Productions, Studio1Tutorials.com. You guys keep it simple, but don't be basic. And we'll see you on the next one.